Hello everyone and welcome back to Fauji Days. Today we are extremely grateful and privileged to have with us former Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Naravane. And here we are going to talk about his book, The Cantonment Conspiracy, which happens to be a military thriller. And we are going to discuss all about it and how he came about to write this. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Mike, and always pleasure talking to you. And thank you to Fauji Days also for taking this time out to
I
talk to me.
appreciate that, sir. So, sir, you have, of course, served as the Army Chief. You've had a distinguished military career, and now you've donned the hat of an author, and you've written a military thriller, which is a segment that's not very well explored here in India. So, we're very curious to know, firstly, how this came about. How did you choose that you wanted to write a thriller to start with as your debut novel? And how was this plot set up? How was your journey as an author? So, if you can just tell us about that.
No, it's a lot of questions rolled into one. But, in service, you do keep writing, very serious kind of papers on the strategy or relations with neighbors. I've also been writing a column for Print India online, a bi-monthly column centered around international relations, current affairs. So It was all in that realm. So I thought, why not do something different? Why get only in one genre or stuck in one field? But I had written a couple of short stories earlier, way back when I was a colonel, which had got published in one or two English magazines. So that idea was there that I could also write fiction. So that was the spark, so to say. Plus, I also thought that why should anybody get templated? You can always explore more ways of expressing yourself and your creativity. After all, an artist does not only do watercolors, he can do oil paintings also, he can do stills, he can do landscapes. So why slot yourself only in a particular place? Though of course our expertise lies in those areas. So I said, let me try. It may work out, it may not work out. It may be a success, not a success, but unless you try, how will you know? So that was the sort of background to attempting to write the work of fiction. As far as the plot and setting is concerned, obviously every author sets his book into some surroundings he is familiar with. If you see, or it has to be set in some milieu.
Correct.
Whether it is Arthur Haley's airport, it is all about airports. So same way, if it's a spy story, obviously it will be somewhere between London, Russia,
absolutely,
and those European hotspots.
Correct.
So my competency is obviously in the military background. So that's why I decided to set it in a military environment, and of course a mystery. That environment with all the characters drawn from military backgrounds, or who are serving in the army. And it is a fictionalized place in the book, but it is actually centered around my regimental center, the Sikhalai Regimental Center at Fatehgarh. So some of the areas which I mentioned are actually there.
Absolutely.
On ground. So that was the whole thought process to begin with.
Wonderful. And did you read over the course of time any books that kind of also inspired you and you thought that this was a great genre to kind of start with?
Well, I've been reading a lot of books all the time, both fiction, non-fiction. In fact, non-fiction, I would have read everything from Enid Blyton to the whole range. And there was a time when anything which was there you would read. No matter what the age in group. So I would have probably been reading a Western and Godfather at the same time. There were no, or even Ayn Rand, Fountainhead, I read as 11th standard child.
Wow.
And that in fact inspired me to take engineering drawing in school. And when people asked me that, if not the army, what would you have chosen? I said I would have become an architect. inspired from
A book.
that
Practically a book.
Fountainhead,
Yeah.
where Howard Rourke is the hero, who is an architect. So, it was always there. Lot of reading. And I guess when you read such a lot, some plot, some subplot, some
Keeps building up.
conversations are there always in your subconscious. And then you build up on those. And certain incidents which happened with you in service. People ask me, did you actually have a murder? I said, no, murder to nahi tha. But a fight in a mess was there.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
in one of the postings where something like that had happened. And in fact, in that also the commandant orders a court of inquiry.
Wow.
And in that he makes me the presiding officer. But I managed to get out of doing it. So these things are always there, So that is how I get.
So I think it'll keep the readers guessing what is fact and what is fiction and all.
Little building blocks are there, and it's now you put many of them together to make it into a story.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great. So, in one of our leading publications, which is India Today, they called your writing style as something very close to that of Tom Clancy. And they also said that this book kind of ends with a nail-biting finish. And I agree with that statement that they've made. But why do you feel in India in particular, we've waited so long for somebody to write in that sort of a style, come out with a good, gripping military thriller? Because just like I said, it's not a genre that, we have explored, to a great extent. There are not many authors writing in this genre, but it happens to be a very, very exciting genre.
Well, firstly, I don't think I'm in the category of Tom Clancy yet. Maybe in the future. In fact, when Karan Thapar interviewed me, he also put me into the bracket of Agatha Christie.
Oh, wow.
Which is, way beyond my wildest.
No, sir. I think if the readers are saying it, there has to be something.
But yes, I enjoyed writing it, definitely. And if people have not written military thrillers, is perhaps because of the absence of knowledge about the army and armed forces.
Yeah.
Because for a long time we have kept ourselves secluded from the population at large. And in fact, this is one of the things I was trying to put across through the book. That indirectly, people should come to know what the army is.
Correct.
And what the army ethos and way of functioning, without making it a manual.
Yeah.
That, this is the way you get up in the morning, and this is the way you do drill in the evening.
Then you lose the interest.
You lose the interest. Just like, and in fact, for that, I did draw inspiration from hotel books like Hotel and Airport. And so you read that book, you come to know all about the hotels, right from the front desk to housekeeping.
Correct.
Similarly, the others. So that was also the sort of aim plus, that along with the murder mystery, people should also come to know about the army way of life.
Absolutely. And I recall our previous conversation where you said, and we were discussing that, for the general public, it's very hard to still understand the military life, and if we can break it down through, say, fiction or even non-fiction titles for that matter, somewhere where they don't feel like, oh, it's too much jargon, it's too hard to understand, that's how they'll kind of understand the military life better, and, it'll kind of resonate with them more, I feel. So,
in fact, that was a challenge to how deep to go into the military terminology, which would have become difficult for a common reader to understand, yet not to skip over it altogether, that it does not have any military influence or background at all.
Absolutely.
And in doing that also, keeping in mind a military reader and a non-military. A military reader, if you go into too much depth, will say, "Ye kya sikha raha hai hame? Ye to sara malum hai." On the other hand, if you don't write that, a civilian reader may just not understand what is the why so and so,
So as an author, sir, did you find it hard to balance it, or did it come naturally to you?
No, I tried my best.
Yeah.
At places, I think it I've gone in a little bit more depth than is required. But perhaps that is required in the initial stages till people get familiar with this kind of with a genre. So maybe the next book I write, I will not dwell too much on ranks and hierarchy, because hopefully if somebody's read this book,
Yeah.
he will know that a brigadier is senior to a colonel. That way.
Fair enough, absolutely. So then at the kind of heart of your book is a very strong female protagonist, and that's Renuka Khatri. And your book is set sometime after June 2026. And if we talk about very recent events, we've also seen two other trailblazing women in Operation Sindhu. That was Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh. And they led our press conferences, and it's kind of put up a very united front, and the fact that women can be at the center of it all and lead it all. So just putting this real life and fictionalized account in parallel, was this a conscious choice that you made to have a female lead, strong protagonist in your story as well?
Yeah, there are two aspects to that. Just before I retired, I had gone to the NDA for the passing out parade, and that was my last ceremonial engagement also.
Right.
And in that, by then, the decision to admit female cadets to the NDA had already been taken, so they would have joined in July of 22.
Right.
So in April of 22, when this engagement was taking place, in the media interaction, one of them asked me that when can we expect the first ex-NDA woman chief? So I did some quick math and said about 44 years.
Got it.
That's how long it took me to reach that place. So there the idea came, one was that let's have a ex-NDA woman officer as one of the characters. So 22 and 3, 25 in NDA, and one more year, 26 in IMA. So actually in June 26 will be the first batch of women officers, ex-NDA women officers who will pass out. Women officers we already have, but ex-NDA, and therefore it was consciously decided to set it in 26 and beyond. The second aspect is that somehow there is a feeling that there is gender discrimination in the armed forces, which is far from the truth. There is no such discrimination. We see the work which is being done by people, and that is why I had again chosen out of the two protagonists, one is a lady officer and one is a gentleman officer. So that was the other aspect, and I think that has been only proven by what happened after Op Sindoor and the two ladies. In fact, I will call them two officers. I always insist, in fact, that or don't say ladies or gents, say officers. Because you're an officer first.
Correct.
And your gender is immaterial after that. You're being judged for the work you do and how well you do it. And that has again been proven true with excellent, the press conferences which they had and the way they handled themselves and the question. So they have proven. So that was again, so both these things, that to dispel this notion that there is any discrimination in the armed forces, and we respect everyone, but you have to do your job.
Absolutely.
That is the first and foremost.
No, it's great. So I think subtly you set a narrative right, So I think that was important.
Definitely, there was a aim plus.
Yeah, that's wonderful, sir. And so when it comes to writing fiction, of course, I'm sure it goes through many drafts, many rewrites, many corrections. So how long did your, writing this book take for you? Were there too many edits? How did this editorial process go for you? How was your experience?
Well, this idea was there in my mind for quite some time. So in that sense, it did not take me very long. But I did draw up a, timeline, a number line with chapters, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, who is to be introduced in which chapter.
Yeah.
So there was a sort of skeleton framework for me to work on it, and on that you start writing chapter 1. It was a dark and stormy night, and the end.
Yeah, of course.
So some ideas have to be there. But there's a lot of back and forth also. Because say in a future chapter you say something or introduce somebody, but he has not come earlier. So you say that he went into the building which was adjoining the mess. But you not described the mess and its surroundings
Correct.
earlier.
Correct.
How will you suddenly jump to that conclusion? So a little bit of that going back and forth to ensure that the continuity is maintained. So definitely that is required. A second aspect is that sometimes you tend to lose track of your characters.
Yeah.
So then I had a separate sheet with all the characters.
Oh wow. It's a very structured approach you've taken to writing.
Names laid down. This is this character.
Yeah.
This is his appointment or name. And in fact, I did mix up the names in writing
Oh, okay.
once or twice, which got caught in the editing, not by me. When it went for the copy edit, then he said that no, you have use this name in this chapter, but you have changed the name in that chapter. So which is the correct one?
Yeah.
So this kind of work, and therefore I think I should give full credit to Penguin and their editors and copy editors for having caught
The discrepancy.
it is just not a grammatical check
Yeah.
or a structural check, but also a check for the continuity, the consistency, some of the factual things in that. So, for example, I've written that song, Congratulations, won the Eurovision award. Then in the edit, he said, no, it didn't win. It was number 2. So even a fact check. So they did a lot of work. It is you have to give credit where it is due.
Of course.
That they make it, they make the book work.
Definitely.
Otherwise, with if these inconsistencies remain, then
Because you have to serve your readers, right?
yeah. So the reader will also not be satisfied.
Yeah, 100%, sir. And so how has been the response to your book? How have readers kind of come back to you? What kind of comments have they shared about the book?
I think the response has been pretty good, both from military and non-military readers. In fact, when I go down to the gym, even there people say, oh, very good.
How lovely.
Two feedbacks. One, they say it's, of course, that it's very racy, not racy in that other racy kind of way, but
Fast-paced, gripping.
Fast-paced, gripping. But on the other hand, some people have also said that it ended too quickly. So these are actually divergent views. Some felt it, it went galloping to a conclusion.
Yeah.
Others felt it could have been
Correct.
stretched out a bit.
Correct.
So I guess.
So I'm sure I think all readers take away different
so
things from it.
And another very good feedback which I've got is right from the first time that many people, after having read it, have said that it is quite suitable to be converted into a movie or a.
I was actually going to ask you that.
Yeah, so
is there? Can we see that possibility
that is
happen?
feedback which I have got.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know anyone.
I hope after this podcast we'll reach out
in
to
the
some
movie world. So let's see.
Definitely.
But at the end of the day, I enjoyed writing it. So that's what actually matters.
Absolutely. So now you, of course, just like I mentioned, you had a lovely career in the army, and now you've become an author as well. I'm sure both these, duties in a way have been different and have given you different kinds of satisfaction. So can you elaborate on the satisfaction of a military life and the satisfaction as an author?
I think in both cases, it is the feedback which you get from people who have served with. And in this case, it would be the readers.
Yeah.
So, as a retired army personnel, even now when I meet people who are in service and they take the effort to walk across the room to come and say hello, so I'm so and so, and I served with you in Ambala or so and so place. I possibly cannot remember them all, but the fact that they've taken the effort to come and meet me means that I was able to influence them and influence them positively. And I think that is what gives you satisfaction, that you have left a mark on your comrades.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think in the same way, that's where the book is concerned. And if you get feedback, then you appreciate that your work has been recognized.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sir, you talked about, you given us a lovely structure of how you actually ended up writing the book. But was there a time you kind of faced this infamous author's block or writer's block, where you just didn't know what to do next, or you just couldn't write?
Not for this book, because as I said, I had that whole plot
out there.
in my mind, and that plot is what was in my mind for a couple of years. It was not that it suddenly got. It was there that to show this contradictions between your service requirements and the personal requirements.
Yeah.
And even many times in the army also, right from any level, from battalion level upwards, incidents do occur.
Yeah.
And this thought is always there that let's brush it under the carpet. Izzat is more important than justice. So that sort of moral dilemma is there throughout. It's not just that it happens once in a while. It is, I think, a very common occurrence. So this is what the book is dealing with, that when these moral dilemmas are there, then for the sake of honor, you should not overlook justice.
Correct.
That should be the main thing.
No, definitely. And that's why I said those subtle hints that you've, kind of given throughout the book, they have a deeper meaning than we realize, although it's a fictionalized account. But I think by no means should we take it lightly in terms of the message that it's also trying to convey. So I think a great job done on all those fronts in that regard. Another question, sir, that I'd like to get your opinion on is how a lot of these Western military thrillers, when we read, they are focused on, hardware or high-tech operations. Whereas, a book like yours is focused more on traditional building up curiosity, intrigue for the reader. So was this again a conscious choice that you made to kind of build it up in that way and write in a certain way?
No, this particular story revolves around human relations. So the military hardware and all doesn't really come into it in a big way. Except, of course, those cameras and all are involved. So a little bit of technology is there. It's not that it's not there. But since the story was a very basic story, so obviously the military hardware part is also not so much. But maybe going along, when I write further books, if the setting requires, and I think the next one will require more advanced technology coming in, then it will find its.
So then are we expecting a sequel to this?
Yes, definitely. I've already signed up with Penguin for the sequel.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And
do we have a timeline on it? When can we expect it?
Sometime next year.
Next year. So 2026 is the timeline.
But the sequel will have the same two protagonists.
Is it a sequel or is it an independent read? That
it will be independent read. So obviously this story finishes with solving the murder. So there cannot be a sequel in that sense.
Yeah.
So the sequel is that the protagonists are the same.
So some interconnectedness will remain.
Renuka and Rohit. So it will become, going on, it will become a series of Rohit Renuka mystery series. So from 1 to 2 to 3. So the next one I've already signed up. And it is going to be set somewhere in the east.
Oh, wow.
So moving on from...
I think that's another lesser explored
places. So again, so that was the idea that through the book, show the geography and history of the east also.
That's lovely.
And in specific, I can say it is going to be in Arunachal.
That's lovely. That's lovely, sir. And sir, who would you say was your biggest critique when it came to kind of reviewing the book or giving you feedback on how it...
Yeah, I was very scared of critics, so I didn't show it to my wife at once.
That's an honest answer.
So when I unpacked the box, the first book I gave it to her.
Oh, wow.
The first time she saw it.
Actually come.
Yeah.
Wow. And then what was her reaction after that?
No, she liked it a lot. Yeah.
So it was positive. All ended up.
But I had shown bits and pieces of it to my daughters. Yeah.
So I have a fun rapid fire to ask you. So I'll ask you some quick questions and you can answer in a word, sentence and all, right? So can we start? So any military leader or soldier that you admire the most?
Well, I think for this answer, for this question, rather, you ask anybody and he'll say Field Marshal Manek.
Yeah. I will never disagree with that.
Apart from that, I think your first commanding officer has a lot of influence on you.
Yeah.
And that is Colonel Madan Das. So, in fact, one of the characters is Madan.
Yeah. Oh, he's inspired from
So, when I
there.
was taking the names, so the commandant is Madan Verma.
Wow.
So, Madan Das was my first CO and NM Verma was my second CO. So,
You've put both of them
Madan
together.
Verma is the combination of
Lovely.
both those.
Lovely. So, an ode to both of them.
Ode to both of them. So, in a way, I'm repaying them for the guidance and mentorship that they
That's so lovely to hear, sir. Wonderful. Sir, the military school, course or institution that you feel best ingrains our military culture?
I think all our PCTAs, that is the pre-commissioned training academies, which includes the NDA, of course, as the tri-service, and the IMA, OTA. And they're the, as we say, the cradle for leadership.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whatever you learn there stays with you for life.
But
And the hardships that you go through at that point of time, I think you, in future, you always recollect those and you say, if I could do that, I can do this also.
yeah.
So it acts as a very strong backup for you in times of trouble.
Absolutely.
So that's why the more ragda you get in training, the more you sweat in peace.
I think that this ragda word is also very...
Less you bleed in war. So that ragda is very essential.
Correct, correct. No, that sums it up. So the military that you admire the most apart from the Indian military?
Given how things stand today, with the operations which are going on between Israel and Hamas, the Israeli response is being seen as very overbearing. But if you leave that part aside, but that is again a political decision. I think the Israeli military would be a very good example of how everybody rises to the defense of the nation. And from that point of view, let us not talk about what actions they're doing.
Correct, correct.
But how they rise up to the occasion whenever called for. They leave behind wherever, whatever jobs they might have or are holding, and then get back into that army mode.
Correct.
So you may be the CEO of a big company, but you come back, you're a Havaldar again. You're a sergeant again. And no airs about that. Or no comms about again going under somebody. So I think that is one aspect which we can definitely emulate.
Correct. Fair enough. So your favorite personal weapon?
Well, we started training, with the 7.62 mm SLR Mark 1A. I think that remains your first love.
Of course. I think firsts are always there.
That's where, you can, as you practice, you can kholna, jodna, you can do it blindfolded. So that, although it was much heavier than the modern day AKs and 6 but that's what you grew up with. So that would remain. But all the modern weapons are, of course, much better.
Definitely, definitely. So what's your favorite food?
Oh, that's a question, you should never answer. Because then after that, wherever you go, they feed you that.
You can answer in a list also, then that will help.
No,
are you a foodie or not? Let's answer that first.
No, not really much of a foodie. It's, but I like all kinds of preparations.
All cuisines.
All cuisines, traditional Marathi ones, of course.
Of course,
you would like.
Of course, yeah.
Puran poi, which is a sweet chapati, which concept is not understood much.
In the north,
Especially in North India.
I agree.
So Puran poi, Srikhand, but I'm equally at home with tandoori chicken and
lovely
chole bhature,
lovely,
magge ki roti and sarson ka saag.
I think there's another thing probably in the military. I think you're exposed to so much.
Everywhere, so you develop a taste for all kinds of cuisine. I was 3 years in Myanmar, so we started liking khao sui.
Lovely, yeah.
So I think wherever you go, you pick up all the good things from all the places.
Yeah, definitely. Great. And so your fondest or most challenging tenure while in service?
I think fondest tenure for anyone, especially in the army, will always be his commanding officer's tenure. And that is what you always aspire for when you join a unit or regiment, is to become the CEO of that unit. So that will always remain my fondest tenure. Although it was also the most difficult one, the most challenging one. But perhaps because I did well in that tenure, I moved on in
the progress.
The progress. So, but that is what you always look forward to.
Great. So, what's your favorite war movie?
Before that, if I can mention my favorite book.
Yeah. That was the next question, but if you can start with that.
So, my favorite book is Battle Cry.
Okay.
By Leon Ury. Again, I had read that as a child before I joined NDA. And in that also there's a lot of ragging, ragda, so it sort of mentally prepared me for the actual one which happens in NDA. So I could take it in my, in stride. And it has got, of course, they go on into battle things. So, but that did have a lot of effect on me. As far as war movies are concerned, for the sheer realism of it, I think Saving Private Ryan. With the realism they've shown in that of the Normandy landings. The rest of the story may not be so much, but that part, it actually brings to you what the horrors of war are. And when I was a corps commander in Ambala, I had started showing war movies to the officers as part of training. It was not a evening social affair. I said, no, every Saturday, once a month, we will see a war movie. To understand, again, indirectly what war is. So whether it is Battle of the Bulge or Saving Private Ryan, so that you are so you're able to visualize that what you're going to go through, or if at all, you go into battle.
Absolutely.
And
if I can just deviate and ask over here, especially in India, there's a lot of hue and cry because we feel that our movies or our documentaries don't correctly show the military life, or there are a lot of inaccuracies. What do you have to say about that? Do we really lag behind in terms of showing these things accurately?
If you recollect, just a couple of months ago, again, part of a seminar, somebody had asked me, in fact, after Sindoor, that why did we stop so soon? So I had given a one-line answer that war is not a Bollywood movie. Because movies are all romanticized.
Exactly. I think they're romanticized to a great extent.
So the actual blood and gore, the death and destruction and all doesn't come out. So we get a very wrong idea of what war is all about.
Yeah. Absolutely. I genuinely understand that, and this time actually kind of hit home for us because we actually saw a lot of things happen, So it was very scary on that front. And I think it's very easy to say ki, karte raho, larte raho, but the reality is very different. I agree. Yeah. And sir, who is your favorite military writer? Fiction, non-fiction, anything?
I think Brigadier Dalvi's book on the Sino-Indian War, I think he's covered it very unemotionally. And I like one particular sentence in that where he says that all I have is atta, that is flour, for fighting, feeding and futile correspondence.
Wow, what a statement to make.
And I still remember that sentence.
Statement to make, wow.
So sometimes you remember those in times that, that don't send your men out that way unprepared.
Of course.
And therefore when we were planning and doing something, we made sure that we take our time before we do it.
Planning is essential.
We are totally prepared, not only to do that, but to face the consequences if any should be there.
True. Lovely. Sir, what's your favorite sport?
Well, at the moment it is golf.
Golf? Wonderful. You playing regularly now?
Yes, these days quite regularly, but in spite of that, my score hasn't improved. I guess that's the lament of all golfers. One good day, one bad day.
And do you watch all sports? Do you enjoy watching?
Watch all sports, definitely. But I like even, say, tennis or... sports has been part of our life. Even when we were kids, we were never allowed to stay at home. 4 o'clock in the evening, you had to get out of the house. And we used to play whatever was the flavor of the day or week, whether cricket or hockey and swimming, of course. So swimming, whole summer months used to be inside the pool.
Absolutely.
So it was always a outdoorsy life as children, and that translated into the army.
Wonderful. And so the last question is, what is the best thing about our armed forces?
I think it is the resilience of our men. And they are the strength actually, the man behind. And now when you say man, it also is the woman.
Of course.
It is the person behind the machine. And they come from a very hardy stock. They have a high degree of patriotism, and I think that is what makes us one of the best armies and armed forces in the world.
Absolutely.
That is our strength.
Absolutely. And I think in recent events, we've proved that as well, that we will stand up and fight against everything. And so lastly, what sort of a message do you want to give the readers of the Cantonment Conspiracy? What do you wish they take out of this book when they read it? And what's the kind of readership or age group that you're looking at with this book?
Well, I'm looking at a wider readership, not just limited to the army or the armed forces. It's starting from school children onwards. I think I've written it in a very simple language. So starting from school children onwards, everybody should be able to read and enjoy it. And in those indirect ways that we just talked about, imbibe those qualities of the army is quite proud of truthfulness, service before self, duty, honor, which I think is not just restricted to the armed forces, but is equally applicable to any walk of life that you like.
Correct.
And that is what the sort of aim plus of the book was.
Definitely. And are you happy to see that more people, like generals like you and even other authors are trying to write about the military? There is a lot more chatter around it, fiction, non-fiction, I'm talking about all. Are you happy seeing this change now that readership is also growing?
Of course, one is happy that more people are writing. It is not that other army people have not written fiction. A lot of army people have also written fiction, and by army I mean armed forces.
Yes.
But probably I'm the first general to write a murder mystery. General Padmanabhan had also written a fictionalized account. So, but that was war-based.
I think it's finally come into more, I would say, in the limelight now. I think people were just not exposed to it, I would say, but now...
So yes, the more the people who enter into this genre of, military sort of thrillers, the better, as long as you stay true to the military, I would not say way of life, but the military aspects of it. And you can't suddenly make something fire. Which is not...
Bollywoodize nahi karna.
You keep firing and your magazine never gets empty.
Absolutely.
Cannot be that.
No, definitely. And I genuinely think, however many people I've had a chance to speak with, I feel when they write books, I think it comes out with a different impact altogether, and I've had the privilege of reading and interacting with them and understanding this. And even after our interaction today, I really feel the kind of work that you put out, I don't think other people can kind of replicate, because they've just not lived it in that way, so the way you can put it across, I don't think...
Let me see if I can do equally good job
I'm sure.
with the next one. Whether you want to call it a sequel or a serial, it is. But the next one will be, as I said, set in the East, and it may not be a murder mystery. It might be something else.
No, definitely. I'm sure many people are looking forward to it, including me. And so thank you so much for your time today. And
pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I really hope this book does extremely well. And we are really excited to even hear about the sequel, and we look forward to that in 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.